I never will forget my mom told me, we named you Jonathan because that means God's special gift. You know, whenever you were in my womb, the doctors were really diligent to try to convince my mom to abort me. They said that I was going to have severe handicaps and many abnormalities. That was never an option for her because she believed that God had a plan for my life. Whenever she told me that, it really awoken something in me and helped me realize that I'm created for a purpose. I realized that life could have been much different if the doctors were right. You know, I'm not content to just exist. I really want to exhaust my potential. I want to make sure that I actualize my original design and that I become the man that God created. I love to read, love to be outside, love watching Alabama football. I love to travel. My favorite place on earth is wherever my son Brave is and my wife Karen. They are the best. I met my wife at Brentwood Baptist. I was 28 years old. We have been married for almost 4 years now. We have a little boy named Brave. He's 7 months old and he is sweet, snuggly, just a real joy to be with. To me, life is certainly a calling. I believe that God put me here on earth for a specific purpose. Part of the adventure and the mission is actualizing my potential, it's becoming who I was created to be, to glorify God in what I do, and to serve and love a lot of people. I think it's cliche to say, give it your best shot, but I think in a lot of ways there's a lot of truth to that only you know deep down, are you giving it your all? Michael Jordan said, you know, I never competed against another opponent. I never competed against another team. I never competed against a referee or the other fan base. He said, for me, success came through this understanding of who I was and what depth do I have to increase my game. People have asked me before, how did you get into real estate? Did you always know you want to be in real estate? And the answer is no, it was a total accident. I guess my passions led me before maybe my thoughts in my brain did. In college, I bought a house and rented it out to my buddies. And then that summer I came home to Nashville, bought another house and renovated it and sold it and made some money. About 2008, I started working with clients after I'd had about 50 transactions under my belt. Fast forward to several hundred clients later, 2012, I kind of woke up to this reality that I may be in my career path. And so I spent several years of my early career with Worth Properties. Then I had spent some time with Frederick and Clark, and then we started Scout Properties. So the name of Scout came about because I had gone on a trip to Alaska on this wilderness trek. There was about 13 of us, and we were in the middle of nowhere. We had this unbelievable guide. I called him our scout. If it wasn't for him, we would have gotten totally lost. I mean, because there was no trails, there was no cabins. I mean, we were in the wilderness and all we had was a GPS coordinates. We'd raft down the river and camp along the side, hike mountain ranges, and it was a pretty grueling trip. I had been thinking about what a great name of a company could be. It was very important to me to have a meaning with the company and something that was unique and differentiating in our industry. I thought about, you know, our Scout has done a great job of anticipation and leading us in a direction that maybe we would have never had known how to go. The next thing is if it wasn't for our Scout, we would have probably stayed in the confines and the settlement of what was the city. And so a Scout is someone who is willing to blaze their own trail, they're willing to do their own thing, they have an element of courage, they anticipate the road ahead, they're able to lead people from point A to point B, and I felt like, you know, it's pretty indicative of what we do for our clients. We do scout out home. We are leaving what traditional real estate has said, and we're hoping to do something uniquely different that it benefits our clients and other agents. I've often been asked, you know, what's your vision for Scout? How big do you see it growing? What do you see it doing? And you know, my response is pretty simple. I view Scout as a national real estate company. I view Scout as a company who proves the model works here in Nashville, and I view that Scout is a company that's going to be able to do a lot of good by thousands and thousands of people across the country. So we test and iterate to see, does it work? Are we able to serve our clients better? Are we able to take agents and help their business grow more effectively? Are we able to provide ways for them to do business that helps improve their level of freedom in their personal life or to grow financially? Scout for us is a large vision, and so for us, we're gonna take this thing nationwide and have it in multiple cities around the country and have thousands of agents. Starting your own company has become a labor of love. It has been very tiresome, exhausting, and the thing that has kept me going is the why. And so I think at the end of your life, whenever you look back, you're not gonna really take something with you as much as it is deposits of value or the love that you have given other people. My career has certainly began to morph into this idea of how can I add more value to more people. And if I'm adding more value to more people in a unique way, life just becomes more beautiful, more fuller for myself and hopefully them and the contribution that I make. And so, my challenge is that people would really gravitate to this idea that does your life matter from a standpoint of are you becoming more and more valuable to other people? And so that's why I'm obsessed with reading books. I'm obsessed with going to conferences. I'm obsessed with pushing myself health-wise. I'm obsessed with strengthening my relationships. I'm obsessed with even at Scout to build processes and procedures and spend resources upon hiring staff and doing this amazing build out of our building, because whatever we can do to add more value to more people, that is a life well lived. Years ago when I was in Scotland, backpacking with some friends, and I'll never forget this, we were in Edinburgh Castle, and it was in May of 2009 and the World Cup was going on. We were trying to make it to be able to watch a couple of games, but we had a little time in our day to go to this Edinburgh Castle, and so I had my backpack on because everywhere we're going, I carried like this 40-pound pack. And as we were up there, I had the headset on and it was moving you from station to station to station. We went to this one station, and where we were standing was you looked out over this bay, and like the waterway was coming in around this bay. It talked about where the ships come in. This is where they stormed the castle up this hill, and all these things had happened. Prior to that moment, I had spent probably 2 weeks of going to unbelievable castles, the famous place, famous cemeteries, these really beautiful cathedrals. By this time, it was like another castle. As I left the station, hearing about how the castle was sacked and how Edinburgh was taken by the English, I really distinctly remember God's impression upon me saying, one day, this is going to be your life. If you have great accomplishment and do amazing things, at the very best, someday, hundreds of years from now, somebody's going to come to that location with a backpack on and a headset, listen about this moment that happened, when really all they could care about, in my case, was to go and watch the World Cup. Really, life is very meaningless if it's not given away in the service of other people. At the pinnacle of your life, you can't take anything with you. You can only take with you is the legacy and the deposits of love that you've made in other people's lives. So why do I do what I do? Is I want to add more value to more people, and Scout serves as the platform to be able to serve more people.